I've moved over to my studio and I have a few things that maybe you could ask Mom or Dad to help you find and gather and get ready for our project, okay? Here they are. All right. You might need some newspaper to cover your table or your work surface so that you don't get any paint or crayon on that. You'll need any kind of white paper. This is just paper that I use in my printer for my computer. You'll need some crayons. Any kind will do. Some of the crayons I'd like for you to take the paper off of them. And if they're broken, all the better. Next, you'll need a bowl with a little bit of water. I like these flat bowls because they don't fall over and spill as easily. But just a little bit of water will do. Then, if you have a watercolor set and a paintbrush, that'd be great. But if you don't have a watercolor set, guess what? You can make your own watercolors. It's so easy. Just take a cup with a little bit of water in it. Not too much, just a little bit. Old markers work the best. Just undo the marker and drop it in. And in just a few minutes, the ink that's left in the crayon, in the marker, will go right into the water. And it doesn't have to be this kind of marker. It can be any water-based marker. Permanent markers won't work, but this one does. And it only takes a few minutes for that to turn into some really nice watercolor. Now, if you don't have a brush, I think you could even use a roll-up paper towel or some Q-tips. So as you gather your supplies, you can either pause the video and gather supplies or just continue to watch to see what to do. Okay, now that you've gotten your supplies all gathered, we're going to go on a treasure hunt. The treasure we're going to be looking for are interesting textures. Remember, texture is an element of art, which means how something feels or looks like it feels. So, as I was walking around my house, I was looking for things that were bumpy or lumpy, had some actual texture. Now what we're going to do is called a texture rubbing. It's easy to do. You take one of your papers, lay it over where the texture is, take one of your crayons that you peeled, and you want to lay it on the flat side. This time we're not using the tip of our crayon, we're using the flat part. And if you push really hard on the crayon, look, it's almost like magic. Whatever texture you have found will show up on the paper. Now, it's important to press really hard, boys and girls. We want a lot of the crayon on the paper. You'll see why later. Okay, happy hunting. If it's nice outside, there's great ones to be found there too. This is just my driveway. Let's try it. Let's see, bricks. Yeah, bricks have a lot of texture. So we'll lay our paper. And you can just use the same paper. I think I'll go with my dark crayon first. You have to push kind of hard sometimes. Put a little pressure on it. Try to be careful not to get crayon on your bricks though. Oh, that's picking up some lines and some bumpy textures. know I love a good spiral.
Okay, well this might be an interesting texture. Remember, texture is the way something feels or looks like it feels in art. So I'll take my paper, lay it on top. It's just an air vent. Then use your crayon with the paper peeled off. Lay it flat. Hold it. And you just rub over the paper. And it picks up the texture from the vent. Now here's a fun trick. If you turn the paper a little bit, choose another color, use the flat part again, and rub over. Whoops. It could create a whole different texture. Can you tell what shape that is? Diamond. Lines and shapes.
Have fun collecting all kinds of textures. Then you could take a break or go on to the next video.